Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new here, please make sure you hit subscribe and click that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. Also give this video a thumbs up because I've always wanted to go to California, and being on the western United States, it takes a good long while to get there. It costs a lot of money as well, and I always had a dream to go to California. But then it hit me. There's a California in the UK. In fact, it's in Norfolk. Here, just off the A149 between Caister and Hemsby, lies a little known place called California. In fact, blink and you miss it. There is a sign there. It has a beautiful beach. There's also some history why it's called California. And, oh yeah, Scratby's just up the road. We'll take a look there too. Let's go. So when I said parking is an issue, you obviously can park on the roadside. Actually down here there's no double yellow lines, so yeah, you can park down here. But like I say, there's a bus stop if you're maybe coming from Great Yarmouth. And this is really interesting to see, these pillboxes that are dotted around the east coast, and there's one here as well that's all overgrown. And this is where California starts. Now, I guess it depends on who you ask, because where does California start and where does it end? You could say it starts right down there and then it goes halfway round to there, but this is where you go down towards the main beach. And if you've been coming to California for a while, you might remember there used to be an amusement arcade on here, which has since been demolished, and these lovely little townhouses have been built. And so this is it. Here we are in California. Some public toilets over here. I don't know if they're actually used anymore. Used to be a little amusement arcade on here. If you really want to get a caravan with a view, big recommendation to stay on this site, which is Tuddenham Caravan Park. I'll actually have a look around there in just a moment because they've got some really beautiful caravans overlooking the sea. But just up here, look, there's somewhere for you to go and get a little bit of food before heading down onto the beach. The California Stores, there's a bit of a restaurant going on in there too. A very famous pub around these parts. Again, this has been here for a very long time. I think it's dated back to 1845 or 1857. It's the California Tavern. It's a nice place to sit outside on a summer's day. And one of my favourite chip shops around here, I'm not going to lie, is Trish's Chippy, which is open all year. They've even got seating in there, a little bit of a restaurant going on. Love these little cottages. Now, there has been quite a bit of erosion here in California, so it's a bit of a shame, but it's not falling in the sea just yet. But this is why I love coming to California. Remember the first time I came down here and I was like, wow, this looks pretty. And it's not until you swing left and you see the beach, you'll see how pretty this place actually is. Just look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. You can walk for miles. In fact, you can probably see Winterton in the distance, Scratby is just further up there, and of course Hemsby swinging around, and we can come to Caister just around the corner. But you can actually still do the North Norfolk path along here as well. In fact, there's a sign just down there. We'll come back down onto the beach in a little bit and show you the sandy cliffs, which really does remind you of California. Like if you're watching this and you maybe been to Malibu before, it does feel very similar. It's just that the houses are just not as expensive. So you might be thinking, why do they call it California? Now this goes back, there's a couple of different stories, but I believe one of the main stories is there was a ship carrying some gold, which kind of got stuck on one of the sandbanks, a bit of a shipwreck going on, and a storm brought all the coins kind of onto the beach. Apparently gold coins were found in the cliffs here as well, but if you're hoping to come down here to find some, apparently there hasn't been any seen in a long time. In fact, there used to be a bar down here on the beach, which is no longer here. That was well before I was born though. So this is a really lovely little pretty little site. You've got a little bar here where you can go and get a drink, play some bingo. And then you've got your holiday homes. And I think they've had some investment recently on the park with some new caravans. But these have some amazing views over California. Let's just go and check this out. It's an absolutely gorgeous day to visit California. I mean, it would be wrong for me to show you California on a horrible rainy day. I had to pick a day where it was beautifully sunny, otherwise it wouldn't have the same effect, I don't think. But imagine having one of these holiday homes. And just look at the view. So also a lot of people walk through this caravan park to get to Caister as well, and down onto the beach. My favourite part of the beach, which I guess is still classed as California, depending on who you ask, they might say, well actually that's Caister. I still believe it's kind of California, and let's go and check it out. You know how much I love the seaside. I visit obviously a lot of places on the coast, and I've never understood what this particular flower is called. If someone can let me know in the comments, but you always see it growing at the coast, and when it's in flower it's really beautiful. And in fact, just here there used to be a bench that has since been removed that you could sit on to get really great views towards Caister. I don't know why they removed it, but you can still see the footings. But up here, look, you can see all the way out towards Caister and get almost like a little private view. So ahead in that direction is the oldest holiday park in the UK. You can check out that video just up here. But this is my favourite part of the beach. It is so beautiful. Obviously it's kind of going on towards Caister here, but we're going to walk back down through towards California as well. But I love the fact there's these bays that have been put in here as well to stop the erosion, but also a great place to come and have a lie on the beach. The sand here is beautiful. The beach is ever changing though, to be honest. Sometimes there's a few pebbles on it, other times it's completely pristine. So California gets its name obviously because of the gold coins that were found in the cliffs, but not because of this, but it really does look like California. You can see the old sea defences here as well that have actually been buried in the sand. Love the sound of the waves. So further on is Scratby. What we're going to do is, I'll show you Scratby actually. Again, Scratby's quite small, but we'll have a look. If you've been to Scratby before, you'll know that the famous landmark of Scratby, I guess, are the cottages right on the end of the cliff, and of course the beach as well. These boulders were put in to protect California and Scratby from the harsh North Sea, which of course has given us a lot of tidal surges recently in the past 15 years. But this is why it reminds me of California so much, these sandy cliffs. Look at this. It's obviously from erosion, but it's just the way that it's like it's on the beach. It's almost like a big dinosaur foot that's just sticking out. It's weird, there's all these little areas where you can explore. And it looks like someone here, I guess they shouldn't be doing this in the dunes, but placed that to sit on and had a bit of a beach fire. I absolutely love California. It is so beautiful. I suggest you take a visit. So let's quickly go and check out Scratby, which is right next to California. So we're going to walk down towards the beach and through Scratby itself and see what Scratby has on offer. The strangest village green, although not officially, I've ever seen. There's a pig there. You'll also see llamas and some very unique little phone boxes, gypsy caravans, and a mushroom. Oh, and another telephone box. I actually love the village sign, which has got Scratby and California on it. It depicts the cottages and also a long forgotten church, and of course a sailboat, which looks really beautiful. And as village signs goes, isn't it lovely? So an interesting fact, it might only be a small village and in a square, but it's got 8 different holiday parks in it. So this is Summerfield's holiday park, and some of the chalets are just here. The other holiday park in Scratby, which is worth a mention because it has a really cool outside swimming pool. However, you can only use it if you're a resident on the holiday park. Believe me, I've tried. I've even offered them money to actually go in there and have a swim, but they declined. This is known as Beach Road Chalet Park, and a popular restaurant called Moments. But this is the chalet park, and I wanted to show you this because it's not very often that you see double-decker chalets, almost like houses. But it is actually a really nice sight. And this is the added bonus I want to show you. I don't know whether this, obviously because of COVID and everything else, this has been shut. But use your imagination. On a warm sunny day, check out the outside swimming pool. Obviously, I'm not going to be visiting all the holiday parks. I mean, quite a few of them have their own clubhouses, swimming pools, amusement arcades. But for a little village, you know, there's quite a lot here. We're just coming up towards Green Farm, which is definitely one of my favourite holiday parks in Scratby because it is just so beautiful, and I like the plants that they've got here, because it does feel very Mediterranean. In fact, being on the East Coast, I'm quite surprised that most of these haven't died. They actually don't cover them up during the winter either, but they're looking good. There's even a few Canarian palms in here. Look at that. I mean, when you arrive on holiday in the UK, this is exactly what you want to see. something as beautiful as that right next to your caravan. And dotted around the park, they've even got a few fountains going on as well. Look at this. So moving on from Green Farm and Summerfields, which is behind us, we're heading down towards the beach. And a few little places to stop off and have some food along the way. There's a tea room stroke restaurant here on the right. And there's even, and look how pretty that building is, for hairdressers. This is the other entrance to Green Farm, by the way. Hearing the birds chirping. And a great little place here on the right to get loads of beach toys. Normally, at the weekend, they've got loads of inflatables out here. Sally's gift box. And at Christmas, she does do a very nice little Christmas display in her window. Big shout out to Scratby Bakery just there, which used to be an old betting shop. And we're coming up to these cottages that are a little bit of a Scratby landmark, which have been here for such a long time. I mean, it's kind of scary when you think about them. These cottages are over 160 years old. And a long time ago, I think the road used to finish here. And then obviously in later years, the road was added along the seafront. So these were built in 1855 and they've stood here all this time. They've faced the harsh North Sea and all the storms in the past. But these little fishermen's cottages, they are just very quintessentially British, aren't they? And interestingly enough, there are a few beach huts here in Scratby, and I don't understand why. I thought that was a phone line, but they've even got electricity going into them as well, which is quite nice to have. There's been a couple more added rather recently, which have been painted lovely. But up here on the cliff top, you do get the best views. You can see all the way to Caister in one direction, which is pretty much just over there. And panning around, you see towards Hemsby and Winterton. And as I said, this particular shot, and when the tide goes out a little bit and early in the morning, this actually has been photographed and used in many publications around the world, believe it or not, and in some holiday brochures advertising holidays abroad. I know, and it's actually Scratby here in the UK, but there you go. Absolutely beautiful beach. And to get down to the beach, anyone who's been coming to Scratby for a very long time will know there used to be steps down to the beach, but rather recently they've actually added a slope here in Scratby, which means it's very wheelchair friendly and a lot easier to get down to the beach. And coming up here on my right hand side is the largest holiday park in California and Scratby, known as California Cliffs. It's got a little amusement arcade, some places to eat, but that gives you the full tour of California and Scratby. So today we have come to one of my favourite villages here on the east coast, Winterton, and as you can see, it's got an absolutely beautiful green Some really lovely flowers. Over in that direction, as you can see there, standing nice and proud, is Winterton Church. I don't know if you can get up there anymore, but I went up there once and you can actually see all the way to Norwich. So let's go for a walk. So please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is going to be up. And if you love these videos, you can also support me on Patreon. The link's in the description. They've obviously been planting a lot in Winterton already. Look at that. That's something I want in my garden. Absolutely amazing there with all the flowers and the boat. Nice little bench if you want to have a sit down. There's a lot of dogs out today. They're all barking at me. The thing you'll notice about Winterton is that they've got loads of little picturesque cottages. Now obviously it's not a very big village. You'll see why this is so pretty, and I'm about to show you why Winterton is one of my favourite places to come, because it's a little bit of a hidden treasure. Not only has it got a lovely beach, which we'll come to in just a little bit, but it doesn't feel like you're in East Anglia. So as you see here, these beautiful little cottages, which just look so picturesque. Original thatch cottaging on there as well. And literally just over the road, if you was feeling a little bit thirsty, a really lovely little pub here in Winterton, the Fisherman's Return. In the summer, this is absolutely heaving with people. They do food in here as well. And I think they've actually just recently added some hotel rooms as well at the back. Look at that. These cottages just are truly beautiful. I mean, you wouldn't believe you were in Great Yarmouth, would you? Obviously we're in Winterton, but we're in Great Yarmouth. Still, the borough of Great Yarmouth. Nice little green here. But these just look so beautiful. And you've got a lovely little green here. This is why I love coming to Winterton so much, actually. It's really peaceful. A little village by the sea. As we just check out, this is quite nice, look. Someone's put some flowers in the baskets of a bike. Look at that. Amazing. So there you can see all the cottages. A lot of these are actually holiday lets. You'll find a lot of these cottages in Winterton that are holiday lets. And I just wanted to show you something as well up here, because Winterton obviously has holiday cottages, but it also has somewhere to stay. Up here, these are very unique. If you ever wanted to do something a little bit different and stay somewhere completely different, then I would definitely suggest these. Again, thatch cottage style, but they're little round little bungalows, houses, little cottages, whatever you would want to call them. I mean, look at that, how beautiful. And there's even more up here. You can hear the crows and everything today. This place is called Hamana's. They've got a little bit of a clubhouse on here. They do food. A lot of crows about today. How pretty are these bluebells? Look at them, there's so many of them. Spring has sprung. Just imagine staying in some of these. They have quite the view. Very small. We'll have a look through the window, I think. But yeah, if you wanted to stay somewhere completely and utterly different on your holidays, once we come out of lockdown, then I really do suggest Look at that for a view. Over Winterton Dunes and the nature reserve. Look at that. Obviously Hemsby's in that direction. We're going to be going over to the beach in just a little bit. And as you look further down the coast, that's where you'll come up towards Haysborough and Seapooling, and further up towards North Norfolk. But yeah, these are just absolutely lovely. I love how they're all coloured as well. And as you can see in the distance there, Winterton Lighthouse. I was just saying, you can actually rent these cottages. I mean, literally, just look at that. Those beautiful flowers in the garden. Not a movie set. Real cottages that you can actually come and stay in here in Winterton. And that is that cherry blossom? Someone will correct me if it's not. Feel free to put in the comments below. So let's walk down here. Obviously there's a couple of access roads to the beach. Obviously one of them is down here in the main entrance to the village. A lot of cottages in Winterton. Really lovely little ones. In fact, look, there's another little round thatched cottage just there. This was the other entrance to the fisherman's pub, which was, I was saying, the fisherman's return. Obviously parking at the beach can be a little bit busy at times, and I think a lot of people park here to go down to the beach outside the little village hall here in Winterton. So as you can see, it's clearly labelled how you can get to the beach. Obviously down there you can just see Winterton Church. There's a little post office there, a really little old-fashioned post office, which we'll walk to on the way back. Let's just quickly check out the beach area up here. Again, I love the fact that it's got all these little greenery areas where you can just come and have a seat, sit down. It's really nice. So you might have seen in the previous video as well about me walking on the Norfolk coastal path. You can continue down there to get towards Hemsby, and also you can continue up and around to go further around the coast. Obviously Winterton Dunes being a nature reserve, some pretty amazing plants, animal life in there as well. If you're not a big fan of adders, it's not the best place to go walking actually. In fact, don't want to scare many people, but I've seen adders scuttling on here before, no joke. This is actually quite a nice little walkway up here if you wanted to, where you literally just walk around the other side of the dunes. Let's just quickly go and have a look. Obviously all these are here to stop people from walking all the way across all the dunes so they can rebuild themselves. As you can see, look, on a beautiful day like today, just like that couple are doing there, you can go for a lovely walk. Let's just check out the beach. Just look how blue the sky is today. Beautiful. So it's quite a walk actually from the village, you know, but it's doable, slightly up this slope. But the beach obviously is definitely worth it. There's been quite a lot of erosion here in the past. In fact, the cafe that you see up there is precariously close to the edge. You got another coastal watch part here as well, where the coastal watch team are. So this obviously gets full with cars in the summer, where you have to come and pay to park and get yourself a drink at the Dunes Cafe over there. They do some great homemade food actually, and some cakes and stuff like that. Just show you this. Just goes to show what kind of animals you can see. There's the adder, which is the only venomous snake in the UK. And also these nutterjack toads, which I mentioned before. Again, I wouldn't know the difference between a normal toad and a nutjack toad, to be honest. This is what is so beautiful about Norfolk. If you've never been to Norfolk, it is the big skies and the breathtaking scenery which you get. And on a day like today, with the beautiful sandy beaches as well, it's lovely. This is the beach here in Winterton, and I think you can agree it is absolutely beautiful. There's a little bit of a walkway you can go down there which continues further up on the Norfolk coastal path. We'll just have a quick look at that actually. Not quite sure what these are used for. I would say they're beach huts, but I think they're just mostly storage actually. So if you ever are doing the Norfolk coastal path, it is all signposted. And you just see there on the map. We haven't seen any seals actually today. And just there in the distance is Winterton Church, standing proud. This is probably why you can understand that you can actually see all the way to Norwich from the top of that. We'll just have a quick look down on the beach. It is so difficult to walk in sand. Oh, it's absolutely tiring. So that's why I'm sounding out of breath. Obviously it looks like cars have been down here. Yeah, my top tip, you'll probably see these in some other videos, but if you ever get the chance and you're able-bodied to do so, to come and do the Norfolk Coastal Path. I mean, it's a lot of miles, but it is definitely worth it. If you're a bit of a walker, you won't be disappointed. Some of the views you would see are just incredible. I mean, like, there is a place up in Wales where they have sandbanks, the water is blue, and it does look like you could be somewhere else other than the UK. Continuing the Norfolk Coastal Path up that way, back down to Winterton that way, and also that way I've just come. But I wanted to show you this. I don't know whether we'll see any today, but this side of Winterton goes up towards Horsey, which of course is famous for the seals and the fact they have babies in the winter. And I, at Christmas time, go up to Horsey Beach actually to go and see some of the little seals and stuff like that. Obviously keeping my distance like everyone should. Obviously if you have dogs or anything, make sure they don't go near them and don't touch them or try to return them to the sea, because their mother probably won't come back to them after that. So all the way up there is Horsey, but just look at this beach. It is just so beautiful. Normally in January, February, March time, this is all roped off because of all the seals. And I just wanted to show you this. I just came across this. It's not something you see every day, but someone's put a little bit of a memorial on the beach here for their wife. How lovely. This is why Norfolk beaches are amazing. You can see, just look at that, how big they are. Even on a busy day on the beach here in Winterton, you might not see anybody. Obviously you would do further up. There's the cafe that we saw that was hanging very closely to the edge. Scratby Sands wind farm in the distance. I'm not sure if you can see that. So it is quite a walk to get to the sea, I tell you, but it's definitely worth it. I'm not going to be dipping my foot in because it's blooming cold this time of year. Just look at that. I could hear that sound forever. So thanks for walking with me. That was Winterton. Please make sure you do give me a thumbs up to tell everyone else you're loving the videos. Also, in the comments section, have you ever been to Winterton? What are your favourite areas of it? And also, please make sure you hit the subscribe button.